Well, hello everyone. Here we are on a Dress Down Friday in Reform, launching our latest paper on the public sector workforce. I'm joined by our authors Emilie Sundorph and Alex Hitchcock, and we're going to tell you everything about this paper in the next 3 or 4 minutes, starting now. So, Alex, tell me the top line of this report.
So the report we're publishing today, Andrew, is Bobbies on the Net, police workforce for a digital age. Really, this report looks at how the future police workforce can meet rising cybercrime by upskilling, using new technology, and employing new volunteers.
Thank you. Emilie, tell me more please about how crime is changing and the demand this is placing on the police.
Yeah, so almost half of crime now is enabled by technology. And this is in different ways. So there's one type of crime like fraud, which is becoming increasingly common, much of which is committed online. You're more than 20 times more likely to be a victim of fraud than of robbery. But you have other crimes too. You have online harassment, stalking, more serious ones like child sexual exploitation, which existed before, but they've become more common in a digital age, and it puts a lot of pressure on police forces. Perfect,
thank you. So the rest of this interview, let's talk about the sort of solutions. So, Alex, what is the new technology that will help the police face up to this new demand?
So as part of the research for this paper, Emily and I visited a number of forces around the country. We saw that police forces are employing new technology to great effect. So we know that body-worn cameras, for instance, have reduced complaints against police forces by 93%, and police officers are now equipped with smartphone technology to get information on the front line when they need it. But officers and staff that we spoke to spoke of the need to use the next generation of technology to meet further demand. So this includes using smartphones to collect evidence on the front line, collect fingerprints, for example, and using body-worn cameras to identify people automatically. We also know that in the future, new technology such as augmented reality glasses, which provide information on evidence in a crime scene, could be employed to help police forces, police workers more productively meet demand.
Perfect. Thank you. So this suggests to me that the police will need to work perhaps in different ways to the traditional sort of mode of working. Emily, do you want to say a word on that?
Yeah, I think it became clear to us also that the new technology isn't quite enough on its own. So there are different ways that police can organise themselves. We know that there's quite a command and control approach in the police, which sometimes is very necessary, but there are other areas where they could become more modern, if you can say it like that. So the hierarchy is currently they work with about 9 levels, almost all forces, and what you can hear and from police officers and from leaders is that in some ways they could work more dynamically and in a more sort of agile way if they perhaps reduce these ranks, as was seen in the Australian Federal Police in the mid-90s actually, and with very good effect. And you can have other ways of working too, especially on digital teams, so so-called skunk works, where you can kind of work on projects and very autonomously, and national hackathons, as we've seen in the US as well, where experts come together, get creative, work on how to kind of meet some of this very complex crime.
Thank you. And then maybe the last question, Alex, is when we think about the sort of the skills and even the sort of the individual makeup of police forces, can you say how that might change?
Yeah, so this breaks down at different levels. First and foremost, all 200,000 officers and staff need the skills to be able to understand digital threats and to be able to use basic technology. So we're calling for the use of apps on the smartphones that police officers and staff have to upskill them and keep them up to date with the new technology that they're facing. But also more specialist skills really need to be developed within forces. So this includes officers who are working to meet complex cybercrime and digital demand. We're calling for a digital academy along the lines of Whitehall to be able to provide officers with the skills necessary to meet that more complex demand, and we're calling for about 1,700 officers and staff members to be graduated each year through that. We're also calling for a greater use of secondments. Secondments have dropped about 80% since the mid-90s, and so we're looking for officers to to be seconded on those levels, particularly to tech companies, so they can get the skills again to understand and meet the new demand online. And we're also looking to a better use of volunteers. So currently police officers or forces have cyber constables volunteering, but there's only 40 of them in forces around the country of 13,000 police volunteers. But other countries such as Estonia have a very large proportion of their IT workforce, or a 1% proportion of their IT workforce, which is a larger number of volunteers. And if the UK replicated that, that would be an extra 12,000 volunteers.
Right. Well, which is a very interesting recommendation on sort of changing the resource available to the police for dealing with this new crime. Well, Emily and Alex, thank you very much indeed. The changes in crime, everyone's seen it, and I think this is a key paper explaining how the police themselves can change it. In the light of that, I'm very grateful to the authors. I'm grateful to all of the officers, including senior officers and other experts who helped us with this paper. It's available at reform.uk. Thank you for your attention today.